All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for calling in for a super special Dreamers in Action team call. I met Brigitte for the very first time years ago, actually, because of a BNI group. For those of you that don't know, BNI, it stands for Business Network International. And I was a member when I still had my nutrition practice, Fuel for Life, and I had to go through a special training to become a member. And Brigitte was teaching the class. And I remember just thinking she was so fun and so spunky and something that could have been so boring of like 4 hours of like monotonous training. It was like hilarious. Like I kind of felt like I was in like stand-up comedy and it was, engaging. And I just kept learning all these great nuggets along the way that she probably doesn't even know landed on my heart years ago before I was in network marketing because of her heart of service and just the type of servant leader she is and how important gratitude is when you're building an entrepreneur business and how important referrals are and just doing the right thing and having this impeccable customer service. And I remember just taking notes, not necessarily on the BNI chapter, but the things that just apply to life and how you want to show up. And then years later, I was in this network marketing business and I knew of her and I remember her mentioning MLMs because it was where I first heard the term many lifting many, because it's impossible to be successful in this business if you're not really pouring in and investing to other people. And while she's not recruitable, she has had major success in Mary Kay. She's now had over a decade with Send Out Cards and was a top earner in Mary Kay, has a massive downline and just really someone who has made it in the network marketing profession. She has this huge heart that just wants to give back and give back to the profession. And while she doesn't see herself in a health and wellness company or another makeup company, she loves network marketing. I mean, she will go toe to toe with someone to defend the profession. She loves in women and men being successful with this, having freedom, having fulfillment, the personal development, the gratitude, all of it. And so I had reached out to her because I knew that she had this amazing referral-based business kind of on the side, and I wanted to pick her brain. And after a lovely coffee chat, I decided I'm going to hire you because I want you to work with my team. And knowing that that was a skill and a gift and an offering that she had, because we all know that pretty much the day you get into network marketing, you like stop listening to your upline. You'll listen to everybody else. I'm like, I can invite all of you on this call and you won't show up, but I show up to another team and 5,000 people show up. And we said, what would it be like to just hear from someone who knows the skills, a totally different personality than myself, knows the industry, even if she doesn't know Isogenics, and give you guys another resource to really take this to the top and reach your goals. And so at the end of the call, I'm going to kind of announce what we've worked on, that there's going to be this qualification period. You're going to have the entire month of July to do it. So we're going to start on Monday the 2nd, and we're going to go all the way through July 31st, right before celebration. And the people that meet this criteria, which I'll go with you, the first 20 that earn it, the first 20 that qualify, you're going to have a personal invitation to be a part of this programming with Brigitte, where she's going to mentor this group. There's going to be some team calls for those 20. And in addition to that, each one of those people is eligible for 4 15-minute one-on-one calls. I mean, it's not very often that you get to have mentorship from someone who's been a multiple six-figure, 7-figure cumulative earner with network marketing to just pour into you and help you kind of overcome those fears, help you get into action, and help you with your goals. So tonight, Brigitte had asked me kind of, what was the goal? What was the focus? What did we want to accomplish tonight? And I said, I want you to kind of be able to talk to them about your history. Like, what have you learned, with being in this profession as long as you have? And what were the things you would tell your younger self or tell the younger generation of what you knew? To be able to talk about how she's selective with her team, that she's not recruiting everybody that has a heartbeat and a pulse, but that she's really recruiting. She's interviewing, that it's important for her to have the right team and what kind of that looked like. How gratitude plays a role, how she's worked with referrals, how she overcomes fear, things like that. And so I'm going to let her kind of dive in, and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A at the end. But I really want to read you guys her bio, because even though I love her as a person and she just has this great, spunky, heart of servant leadership soul, she has some really, really incredible accolades that is important for you guys to know if you're going to be motivated to work for something and, trusting this person to help you with your goals. So just with experience alone, you guys, 20 years as a salon and spa owner, both in Chicago and in Denver. She started at her first salon at 17 years of age. So talk about like as an early teen stepping into the entrepreneurial world. 22 years in network marketing with Mary Kay and Sendout. 8 years of management and leadership experience with BNI. She has done over 5 years as an MLM coach. So what I've hired her for, that she's gone in and helped, Advocare teams or Herbalife teams or Thrive teams or, Beauty Counter teams or whatever it is, doing workshops and team trainings for other network marketing. And then she owns Referral CPR, which is a company that she's going in as a business consultant and helping both corporate America companies and small businesses really just increase their community and their referrals, and kind of at the root being able to identify how leadership teams are breaking down. So this gal, just has a huge desire to give back to the network marketing community and just a huge desire for people. So with no further ado, I want to just bring her out to the call. And Brigitte, I'll unmute you so you don't have to worry about it, and just share a little bit of your story, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm hoping my head will fit in the screen. Thank you so much, Lauren. If anybody deserves accolades, it's you. For the team members, I tell you, you guys have somebody really special. But I think you guys already know that. She's pretty dynamic. So yes, my name is Brigitte Ades, and I live in Denver, Colorado. I love this state. I came here for a visit and never went back to Chicago. So yeah, so I'll be and I will tell you, I got to one question more than anything. If I could tell my younger self, and I think you guys could probably do the math how old I really am. And if I was in network marketing and starting today, and I was able to have a Brigitte next to me, I would tell you there's a couple things I would say. Number one, move myself out of the way. I was my worst enemy. I was absolutely my worst enemy. I was telling Lauren a story about my sister when I was with Mary Kay. I have a sister. I'm the oldest of 14, 10 girls, 4 boys. And so there was one sister, we're kind of close, but we're not. And I didn't want to ask her about Mary Kay. Well, she called me one day and said, guess what? I started a Mary Kay business. I was like, what? Well, whose fault is that? That was my fault, that I just didn't let my family know. So I would have moved myself out of the way. I also would have realized that fear is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. The things that we hold ourselves fearful are things that really aren't even happening. So I would definitely say that. Also, I would be very selective in my early years of network marketing, not taking everybody in because they bleed, breathe, and have a driver's license on my team. Because when I first started my Mary Kay business, I built up to 350 members. And Lauren and I talked about this. Out of them, how many do you think really worked? 10. And that's because I was taking everybody and anything that was coming my way. Also, I would have planned for attrition. How many of you own businesses other than this? We always have to plan for attrition. And I just thought my client forever. I thought my team was going to be forever. It didn't work out that way. So there was a time where I took a year and I thought, I got it made. I'm making good money, doing well. My team shrunk so darn fast. I can't even tell you. And why did I not think of that? I was a salon and spa owner for many years, and I always knew there was attrition. People move away. People find another hairdresser. They land up not doing their hair. And I just, silly me, I just didn't think it was the same thing in network marketing. This form to add to fight attrition. Here's a formula for you. Add 10 new customers a month. You will always be ahead of your attrition, and also educate each and every one of them on your business. And I will answer that later, how I do that. And then I would have also made sure I was interviewing 5 people a week for my team. I stopped recruiting after I realized I was just bringing people in, and I started to interview. And if people weren't a fit for my chapter, listen to me, mine didn't chapter right now. If they weren't a fit for my team, I just handed them off to somebody else or whatever. But I was very specific who I worked for. So that's a little bit about what I would tell myself now. The next thing I want to share with you are a little bit of numbers. Hobby money comes from 1 to 25 recruits. You'll make hobby money. That'll be money you'll be able to possibly take kids, your grandkids, to Disneyland or pay for a car payment. So about 1 to 25 recruits is hobby money. Part-time income is 26 to 150 recruits. Because not all of them are going to work. Would you guys agree? Not all of them are going to work. But with that money, you might be able to pay for everything for your car and maybe groceries. So it's not a bad income. You're probably looking at, Lauren, what would you say, maybe 40, 50,000 a year with about that much? It doesn't make me happy, but it could make a lot of people. Just remember, everybody's happiness is different. A single mommy might be very happy just getting her formula, her diapers, and daycare paid for. And we all agree that's expensive. Now, if you want a lifestyle that allows you to touch the lives of others and actually change your lives, you need to have 150 recruits at least, or 5 superstars. But I think you probably need more like 300 recruits to get 5 superstars. So I just wanted to kind of give you that a little bit. So Lauren, does that help?
I have myself muted just because sometimes there's like an echo and feedback on the recording, and why I actually unmuted for a second. I don't know if you can move your computer at all, but it's saying your bandwidth is low, and every once in a while you're freezing a little bit. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that, but
is anybody else experiencing me freezing? What do I do?
So I can see, like, because it's in the speaker view, like your bars, like when you're in the yellow and the red, with Zoom. So I don't know if like what your internet connection is like right now. It seems a little bit better, but
it better be good because we're paying a fortune for it. But,
it just kind of goes in and out a little bit, but right now it seems better. But
okay.
Angie was saying that there's a little bit of freezing, but I mean,
so is there something I lost? Is there anybody that needs me to repeat something?
I'm typing in the chat too, because I know we reviewed a little bit of this. They're getting it, but I think that just with the numbers, I mean, everybody's company is a little bit different, and Eric Worre, who wrote Go Pro, will talk about that, and obviously the retention. But what Brigitte, like big, picture overview is trying to break down for you guys is that I know we all say you need 2, go get 2. It's not 2. It's a lot more than 2. And then of all those products, this is like what Jessica talks about of searching for the blue M&Ms. We're bringing in all these product users, 100 or 125 or 200, what she's calling recruits. We think of as customers, hoping for the 5 to 10 next Laura Lori's, next Jen Feister's, next Jessica Rigner, next, Alex Sabat or whatever that may be. And so this is kind of that big picture overview of just understanding the time and the conversations and the numbers to kind of really get you to that lifestyle that's going to impact others. So it was awesome. It was really good. Thank you.
Yes. So what are some of the biggest challenges all of you may have that you find? And let's be raw and honest, because if we're not raw and honest, somebody else on this call or webinar is not getting something from you. So is there anybody that's got something that just stops you? What is the numbers? Very good. Yes. So what are some of the things that you get that choke you up? How many of you have phone reluctance?
The whole team should be raising their hand.
Well, yeah. I'm the queen of phone reluctance, and I even have a crown and a banner. So, yes. And when someone cost concerns, okay, excellent. Phone reluctance. Okay. Very good objections. Phone reluctance. First of all, it is a mental condition. It's formally a network marketing mental condition. It really is. Again, the phone does weigh 100 pounds. Thank you, Jen and Adam. It does weigh 100 pounds. As a matter of fact, it's a 1-ton phone course that I teach. It's interesting. I will give you one little tidbit because all this information is going to be shared to those that earn, but I'm going to give you the biggest one, how I start off my phone call. So first of all, let's say, because the worst call for me, I don't know about you, I could do a cold call and be perfectly fine. But if I think somebody's going to be mad at me or think of me bad when I call them, like family or friends, I want to die. I would rather just die than pick up that phone, or I used to. So I'm going to share some verbiage with you that's very helpful. So I'm going to pretend that I am calling my best friend, and her name is Pam. And let's just say I'm Isogenics. So I'm going to call her and I'm going to say, hey, Pam, this is Brigitte. She's going to say, well, just being her. And I'm going to say, hey, listen, I'm calling wearing a different hat. I have something I need to discuss with you. And I was wondering if this was a good time, or when would you have about 15 minutes for me? So I always address it that I'm wearing a different hat. There's something I'd like to discuss with you. Is now a good time or a time in the future? Let's say she says, no, time right now is a really good time. And I would say, Pam, I got to tell you, I've always respected you. Your opinion means the world to me. And I wanted to let you know I have chosen a new career, and it's called Isogenics. And I don't know if you're familiar with it at all, or if you are, but I did want to share something with you. I want you to be my eyes and ears for people that might need my knowledge and my product to help them get better, lose weight, improve, or whatever. And if there's a way that you and I can just sit down and talk a little more in detail, I'll tell you a little bit more about why I chose Isogenics, how you can help me, and educate you a little bit more on my product and the company, so that you can really listen for people that might need an additional income or just might need my service. And then I just went from there. But as soon as I set it up that I'm wearing a different hat, what that does is it stops her brain from looking at me as Brigitte, her best friend, that's always in sweats and never cared about my health before, right? Because have any of you ever not cared about your health before, and all of a sudden you're selling Isogenics and your friends are like, you're what? So, and actually they're not thinking that. We think they are. But that's how I do that. And I don't do it anything different, even with somebody that might be in my networking group or somebody I've known for a while. I just want to know if we could set some time aside. I'm calling wearing a different hat today, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to help me out. Now, another thing I don't do ever, I never talk about my company as a recruiting. I talk to them so that they can be my eyes and ears for the people that they might know that are looking to earn an extra income, because I don't want to recruit people before they've liked my product. I don't. They have to love their product first. Now, that's my philosophy. Is Isogenics' philosophy the same? Do you guys want them to like the product first? Most companies do. Yes, because, if you don't love the product, you're going to struggle. You really are. So I just want people to do that. Now, that's my phone call. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. I do not leave voicemails, and I leave it very short. Hey, Pam, Brigitte here. If you can give me a quick call, I'd really appreciate it. 303-518-3844. Thanks. I appreciate you getting back with me. And that's it. I never leave anything else on my voicemail, ever. And so when they do call back, and I never text. So I'm going to give you my little list of don't do's. Call me old-fashioned. They've never worked for me. I do not send out emails. I do not send out texts. It's picking up the phone and doing it. A lot of people ask me about what makes you, I want to ask you guys this. Let me ask you, do you want to make an impression on somebody, or do you want to make an impact? We can all make an impression, but if we want to make an impact, we've got to do what our competition is not doing. And your competition is every store out there, QVC, HSN. It is your team, your own company. Your competition could be in the cubicle next to you. So what are you going to do that's going to separate you out from everyone else? That's called picking up the phone. That's what's going to make you different, is when people hear your voice. They love you, they respect you, and they want to hear from you. So that would be my biggest advice. What are you doing different than your competition? And trust me, I'm a network marketer for years. I have a lot of friends, and when they just spam me on Facebook, I write them back. And I say, if you really wanted my business, you would have picked up the phone and called me. And sorry, that's kind of how I feel. So that's my little bit of a high horse. So hopefully that helps you with the phone. Make an impression or an impact, correct. What about Facebook contacts you don't have a number for? Great question. I love this question. So what I do normally at that point, so let's say now, so Chris, can you tell me, is this somebody you know or not? It's just simply a contact.
It depends. Some people I just know and I met them at the gym, but I don't have a cell number. Some people I just sort of met them through Facebook chatting or whatever.
Okay. So, what I'm going to say to this, Chris, my belief system on what's always brought me success is building the relationship first. That's very important. So number one, build the relationship first. Do a couple of small chats, respond to some of their email, some of their posts, maybe send them to say, hey, listen, do you have an email address? I'd love to send you an article. Well, now you can send it through Facebook. But if you know what their hobbies are, just start building that relationship. And I would do that. Now, after about 3 or 4, just say, if I was getting a hold of you, I would just type, hey, Chris, I'd love an opportunity for us to be able to visit over the phone. Do you do any one-to-one phone calls for about 20 minutes? And that's when you would just get to know them. And you start with them first. So it'd be something like this. Hey, Chris, Brigitte here. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes with me. I want to know a little bit about you, Chris. What is it that you do for a living? And what are some of your hobbies? Now, that might take the whole 15 minutes. And then Chris is probably going to say, oh, my God, I feel so bad. I've been talking about you. So you know what? I'm glad I got to know you. I'd love an opportunity to share with you what I do. Why don't we go ahead and schedule another call? But I start with the relationship, especially because, Chris, I'm sure you can appreciate you probably get bombarded too. We don't like that, do we, sir? So don't do what we don't like. Isn't that interesting how we want to do to others what we don't like done to us? So just kind of really work on, don't manipulate the relationship. Make it genuine. And if they talk something about their health, well, so let's say I don't feel good, my daughter doesn't feel good, stuff like that, say, hey, listen, if you're open to a call, I'd love to share something with you. I might have a solution for you, out of genuine caring. And that's where I would call Lauren, who has got nutritional background, and say, Lauren, I have a contact. Their daughter's got mononucleosis. What can you think of that we can offer? Can you look up some articles for me? That's doing life with your contacts. And then all of a sudden you can just say, hey, listen, my friend Lauren, we're in business together, and she looked up some articles for your daughter with mononucleosis. And that starts the ball rolling, and that's how you start with the relationships. But I'm glad you asked that, Chris, because I think Facebook is abused terribly. And it's supposed to be a relationship tool, right, Chris? And people throw up all the time all over them. Do you guys put anything on Facebook about what it is that you do? Do you put a little bit? You put isogenics up there and all that? That's enough.
Yeah, we teach it to create more curiosity and be vague about it. We're not blasting like sales and costs or links to websites or things like that. And even if we do a transformation, like if I was going to put one up of Chris, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. He just crushed a half marathon under 10-minute miles. That's right. It's celebration. It's not like message me to buy our 30-day system. Like we do it that we want to have the conversation.
Yes, absolutely. And, if I were in the health and wellness industry, which would be hysterical, but if I was in the health and wellness industry, I would admit when I don't feel good, because I think Facebook is a bunch of lies. Sorry, everybody looks like, oh, life is great. Then they turn off the camera and they're fighting with their spouses. So I would put, like, I don't know if you guys have ever followed me on Facebook, but you do. I have adrenal failure stage 3. I'm not sharing it for oohs or ahs. It's just something I'm dealing with. I have it straight up on my Facebook. And when I'm drinking my drinks or when I'm doing something like that, I let them know I find that this product works for me, or I find that this product works for me. I do life. Good, bad, ugly, indifference, and celebratory. I do life. And another thing I do as well, you guys, I celebrate life. I do life with my clients on Facebook. And I'm going to give you guys this is what people pay me for. I'm going to give you some advice. when you're on Facebook, especially for your clients, do life with them. And this is what I mean. Everybody, it's almost like when people lose a pet. When did somebody send a card? So I go back on their Facebook, I look for their dog that they lost, put it on a greeting card, and I send them, I ask them, may I please have your mailing address? I would love to send you a little something to make you feel better in the mail. Nobody's ever said no to me. They get a beautiful card from me, and all I say in there is, Dear Bob, I'm really sorry for your loss. A pet is so part of a family. I hope the fun-loving memories you have of Dixie will help you recover faster and quicker. Enjoy the memories. Bridget. Do you think that maybe, just maybe, Bob's going to like me from that? And if somebody sells their home, congratulations on selling your home. If they buy a new home, take a picture of the front of their home. It's on Facebook. Put it on a card. Send it out. That's doing life with them. Also, too, if you can't send out a card, do a private message. And just say, may I please have your phone number? I would love to give you a call. And then there is an app. You guys, you have to get this app. And hold on one second. And you're going to love it. Because if you get people's cell phone numbers, boy, I'm giving you guys all kinds of goodies. Let me know. It's called Sly Dial. S-L-Y Dial. So let me tell you about Sly Dial. When you're a client of mine, I sing you, and I do not have a voice that you want to hear, but people love it. I sing like Marilyn Monroe, and I sing Happy Birthday. And I do it on Sly Dial. So if you have somebody's cell phone, it surpasses their voicemail, and it goes right to their voicemail. They don't know that you're calling, and you can sing happy birthday to them, or you can leave them a sympathy message, instead of like everybody else that it gets lost on Facebook. I remember a couple of years ago when I lost my puppy, I had probably 300 people respond. Do you really think I know who all 300 were? No, but I remember the 5 cards I got in the mail. I could tell you exactly who sent them to me. So Sly Dial is good for uncomfortable calls. If you have a family member, and I know you all do, that you really need to call, but you dread being on the phone with them. Oh gosh, I just wanted to call and let you know I was thinking about you. It goes right to their voicemail. It's so awesome. Does not work on landlines, so make sure you have their cell phone. So does that help with the Facebook? I think I rambled on that. Hopefully that will help you. Let's see, do life as your social media following Sly Dial. Thank you for putting that app on there. And what about Facebook and start? Yeah, okay. So does that help you, Chris, with your Facebook questions? Awesome, dude. All right. How much time do we have for more questions?
So we said we would do this call of like 30 to 60 minutes. So I know that okay. I really wanted to leave a little bit of time that I can kind of talk to them about how they're going to qualify, but definitely a teaser of kind of who you are and what you guys can get. And as you guys know, we have very different styles. So I know that she can just shift you. But if there's a couple other questions that you guys
have. Is it Gita? Are you German? No? I love it. Gita is actually a German name. I was going to say, sprechen Sie Deutsch? But never mind. Okay, that's my little bit of German I know. No, so Gita, yes, that is a tough one. Oh, thank you. All right, thank you for Claire Indian. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so yes, moving casual conversation. Now, can I ask you a question? Can you unmute yourself and give me a scenario?
So a scenario is I am just now building a relationship with, some prospects. So we've had, say, 3 points of contact. So now how do I have the next follow-up where I start getting into introducing the products? I mean, they know what I do. Perfect example, somebody knows, they know what I do. I've given them some samples. And now we're kind of having casual conversations. So now how do I bring it back into the opportunity again?
And where did you meet this person? Who are they?
He's my long guy.
Oh, your long guy?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, look at you go, girl. Damn. Okay, so what's his interest level if you were to guesstimate? On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not at all, 5 being kind of, I'm interested.
Well, so when I first had the initial conversation with him, it was probably like a 5 to 6, and now the longer that it keeps dragging on, now I feel like it's more like a 2 to 3.
Okay, yes. There is a period of time that you got to get to it once you've talked to him. So what is the long guy's name?
Quentin.
Quentin. Okay. So that's, do you see him or are you ready to call him? Are you ready to pick up the phone?
I can. I'm ready to pick up the phone. He was here today. I just missed him.
Gosh darn it. Okay. So this is how it would go. Hey, tell me your name. Just say your name for me.
Quentin.
No, your name, hon.
Oh, mine, Gita.
Gita. Okay, so just Gita. Okay. So I would just say, hey, Quentin, this is Gita. Listen, I think I may have dropped the ball. You and I have been missing each other, and I know we talked a couple of times. I would really like to move forward with your nutrition. So can you tell me on a scale of 1 to 3, what is your interest level? 1, not at all. I'm open to that. 2, you need more information. 3, let's get me hooked up. Can you give me a call back and let me know where you are, just so I don't drop the ball and not follow through with you?
Okay.
That's it.
I like that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. You know,
Gita, if it's okay to interrupt for 1 second, say it back. What were the 3 options that Bridget just suggested?
Oh, like all of a sudden, I don't know.
That's okay. I'll do it slower.
Yeah. So, well, I was just going to say, one, you're not really interested. I think I'm doing it backwards.
Well, no, 1, maybe not now. Maybe not now is a good time for you. That would be a good way to say it. Number 2, you need a little more information. Number 3, yeah, let's get my health rocking right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I always, and it was my mistake really, because I should have said earlier, I always say, no, not now. It sounds like this might not be a fit for you now. It sounds like maybe the nutritional program's not for you right now. Yeah, that's how I would do that. Does that help you, Gita? That's
tremendous.
Listen, how many of you like to be pussyfooted around? Or do you like somebody that calls you and gets right to the point? I'm a right to the point kind of gal. Are you guys too?
Yeah.
Don't do to others what you don't like yourself. So just be forward, but use the right kind of verbiage. And that's something so I want you guys to write down my phone number. Now remember, if you haven't earned me, I will spend a few moments with you, but you are not going to get a bunch of knowledge because you have to work for this. But if you just have a quick question or an objection, my number, you know what? Can you put that in there I can do it. Hello. And if you don't mind texting me first, because I'm on probably 15 phone calls a day, a lot of them are conference calls, just say, hey, Bridget, I'm from Lauren's team. Do you have a minute? And then your name, and I will let you know exactly when I'll call you back. That's my only request. Okay, so there was a question earlier about price. Yeah, that's a real sensitive one. So when I get an objection of price, because I'm no longer a coach, I'm a consultant, I get right to the point. Coaches kind of nurture and do all that. So, but as a consultant, my price is definitely a high ticket item. So what I do is when they say, well, ooh, that was really a lot, I just simply say this: what were you looking at? What was it that you were looking at per month? What are you currently spending? What is it that you were looking at? So what is your average month for Isogenics, if I were to ask? What is the monthly auto?
So the signups are like 300, 400, or 600, and the residual people spend 100 to 300
a month.
Yeah.
Gosh, I spent that's not all that bad. Okay, so number 1, if you notice, I think that's like not a lot of money at all, So, but how do you guys feel? Here's what I believe. Eric Worre even says it, and Eric Worre and I go back years. He's just such an amazing man. Money objections come to those that have money objections themselves. Money objections come to those that have money objections themselves. Have you ever noticed how those in network marketing make 6 figures, 7 figures, they don't get that objection. They really don't. And it's because of the tone, the verbiage, and your attitude. So, but there are people out there that don't have $100 to $300 to start a business. So what you simply say is this: it looks like this might not be a fit for you now. This is what we're looking at for you to sign up. And this is what you're looking at as a monthly cost down the road. Depending on your seriousness of where you want to get this started, I know and you know if your phone died today, you would find $800 and buy a new phone. But this has got to be the same kind of priority, your health. And until it is, just know I'm here for you when you're ready. And I move on. So I have a question for you guys. Would you want a team of people that you had to convince to come on your team, or a team of people that want to desire to be a part of your team? And the reason why I asked that is this: when I was with Mary Kay Cosmetics, it's not cheap to start a Mary Kay business. If you're going to be retailing, women, we don't like to wait for mascara and lipstick, do we? When we want it like this. So I used to tell my team, do you want a store that's open part-time, or do you want a store that's like a drive-through? You're going constantly selling. Because if you want a drive-through and you want to see the money, you got to give a little money. You want part-time, you're going to be delivering, you're going to be exhausted, and you're going to get burnt out. So you just have to ask them, what is their point? What is their point of getting into business with you? And this is why interviewing questions are so important. When I find 95% of people that are talking to people to recruit them, which I hate that word, to recruit, they're selling the business so much they're not listening to what the people are not saying. Are you watching their expressions? Are you listening to what they're not saying? And that's so important to master that, because somebody's not going to say, you know what, I only have $75 in my checking book. I don't have a lot of money, but you could tell by their body posture. And if I'm sensing that that's a conversation, I would just say, you know, I have to be honest with you about something. I'm sensing that maybe, just maybe, the cost of starting a business for you right now is not a fit for you. And that's all I say. And if they say, you know what, you're right, say, okay, that's fine. So you just have to work with that and just say, is there a time that would be better for us to check back with each other? Because I understand that. We've all been in that position. Be compassionate. Don't try to convince them. Don't try to give them money solutions. Don't try to do all of that kind of stuff if you're not prepared for the comebacks, because you got to be prepared for the comebacks that people are going to share with you. So hopefully that helps. Does that help, Lauren?
Absolutely. It's awesome. Okay. So you guys obviously get a taste of this wealth of knowledge and her empathy and how fun she is. And oh my goodness, I cannot believe you just gave your number out. Not only did you say it, you typed it.
But they get 5 minutes. Believe me, I'm not going to spend, I promise you, our contest is what they're going to want.
I know, but if even 5 minutes with you is amazing, that I was like, whoa, you know? So you guys take advantage of that if you've got some questions. But here's the deal, because I actually went back and forth.
Thank you, Rachel.
And I asked some of the executives on the team, what are the things that would make it possible for everybody, but you still have to work for it. Like, I don't want to set a standard so high that then you're not learning these skills, that you're in no different place than you are now. If I'm like, oh, you have to enroll 10 people. Well, then most of you, that's not going to happen. And so then you're not getting this experience. But I also don't want it so simple that's like, oh, read a book and everybody gets on. So what I did, and I'm going to post these on our team page, and I'll post it with the call recording so you guys have it. But I gave basically like an option A or option B for 3 tiers, 3 categories, and you have to do one in each of the tiers, and you can choose either option A or option B. So I'll go through it with you and reiterate.
I don't even know about this yet. That's exciting.
Yes, you didn't. I was like, I got to figure this out. I got to think about it.
Okay.
So number 1, for tier 1, you either had to attend the call live, so most of you are already there, or they have to listen to the recording and send me 3 takeaways. So if you have team members that are not on this, they have to listen to the recording and send in 3 takeaways. So tier 1 is either hop on this call or listen to the recording, because we know a lot of people don't even listen to the recording. So if they don't have 30 minutes to listen to podcast time, then they obviously don't want this, and that's on them. Tier 2 gets a little bit higher, a little bit trickier. So you either have to be going to Celebration, have your Nashville ticket, and show up in Nashville with us in August, or be signed up to watch Celebration live. So have a live viewing ticket. So even people that join in the next week or joined last week and they don't have time to get to Nashville or whatever that is, but you're going to watch it live stream and be a part of the conference that way. So one of those options. And then tier 3, either enroll a minimum of 3 people. Again, that's in July, you guys, July 2 to July 31. Or create 1 new consultant. Have one of your personally enrolled find their 2 accountability partners. And this is what it'll come down to. Number 1, I'm going to be here to help you. A lot of your mentors and leaders and uplines are going to be here. Bridget just gave you her number that you can even get these like couple 5-minute windows along the way to help you get your 3 enrollments, or to pick up the phone that you get out of that reluctance, or, you know, get someone to share with their first 2 customers. But the first 20 people that will do this, you're going to be eligible for the month-long program with Bridget basically in August. We know that we go to convention, we go to conference, people get fired up, and like a week later, it's like, why did we go? You know? And so this is like to keep you guys moving and keep you going and help you pushing through that fear. So the first 20 to qualify, and then in addition to that, you're going to get the monthly team calls with Bridget in August, and then each 20 is going to get up to 4 15-minute private coaching calls with her. I mean, that's an hour with someone who's made cumulative of millions of dollars in network marketing companies. It's a huge opportunity. So I'm going for it. I mean, I know talking to Jen and Adam and Rachel and Chris and, you know, I mean, our top leaders, they're going for it, but we also want it to be available and an option for our rising stars, people that are brand new and could really benefit, and making the last quarter of 2018 the strongest quarter of the year yet. So I will get the recording up. We will absolutely get the tiers posted so you know exactly what to do. And Bridget, I can't thank you enough. I love your heart. I love your wisdom, and just the golden nuggets just for you guys listening to this call is already huge. So thank you so much.
Thank you. So if I may close this out with a parting thought. I think the number 1 curse we all have is we're selfish. We really are. We're so afraid of what might happen that we possibly could have left somebody out of a great career. So whatever you do, share your business with every single customer, not to recruit them, but how they can be your biggest fan and how you can earn your referrals. Referrals are not something you get naturally. They're what you earn. So educate your clients, because an educated client about the product they use will be a lifetime client. A client you just try to recruit over and over again will be gone before you know it. Lead with your heart, be genuine, and I'm going to send an article to Lauren, and I'd like for Lauren to send that article to each of you, and it's about credibility, the importance of credibility, personally, professionally, and if you master your credibility, you will have more business and you know what to handle. You guys, I love you. I'm going to let you guys go. Mwah. Thank you, Lauren. I really appreciate your faith in me and sharing your amazing team with me. I can't wait. Hopefully, are you guys all in Colorado?
No.
Oh,
California,
okay.
St. Louis, and New Jersey, and Mexico, and Idaho.
Chicago. Do I hear Chicago?
Do we have Chicago?
We got to get a Chicago in there, man.
We do.
Have 2 of us. What was
Awesome.
that?
Thank you guys so much.
All right. Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Bye. Good night. Thank you.